Hello everybody, it's Tim here again, here another movie review, this time for the new Paul W.S. Anderson movie, Monster Hunter, with Mila Jovovich, his wife, who's in every film he makes. She's still hot. But anyway, this film is based off a video game. I've never played the video game, so I have no idea how this correlates with the game. To me, this is just a B-movie monster flick. The acting with Mila Jovovich, she's not really a good actor, but here she does fine in the whole standard, like, Sylvester Stallone, Schwarzenegger type action movie role. And this is a B-movie about killing giant monsters, so it really works. Her acting works here fine. I liked her character, and she has some fun moments with this other dude who's like, I know this actor. I forgot his name, but he's like a real martial artist in real life. I forgot the dude's name. Somebody will probably correct me in a comment or something. But the guy who's like her co-star on here, who helps her survive in the monster world, he's a real martial artist, and his moves are really good. Mila Jovovich does a good job of hanging with him. He overpowers her in a fight in the between hand to hand that they actually have, but she just still does a good job doing her stunts, and you can tell she's doing like most of her own stunts. Which that's the thing with Mila Jovovich. She usually wants to try to do as many of her own stunts as possible. At least she did in the Resident Evil movies, and it still kind of shows here. Pretty much, she's a member of like this military group who go through this portal that takes them to another dimension, and it's this world where monsters are real, and they get attacked by this big giant horn beast. One thing, problems I will say, like her military unit, they're kind of generic, but then they all get killed off like really quick. Like two of them gets killed off fast. And then the rest of the group, like, they get attacked by these giant like spider scorpion creatures, and Mila Jovovich gets like hit first, and you're like, oh damn, that's ballsy. Like, she's getting hit and took out, she gets stung, and you're like, but then it goes back on it later, because after she wakes up, you realize that she wasn't dead, and she was just like, passed out from the venom or whatever from these creatures. This movie would have had more balls if it would have killed her character off, and one of the other military people would have been the actual main character of the film. That would have been way more ballsy. But it was still kind of neat to see the surprise of her actually getting attacked. But when she wakes up, though, like, there's only one of her military units still left. That's where we spend a little bit of chunk of a time with them. So they all just get killed off like really quick. And the last dude that's left has like baby spider eggs or whatever inside of him, like hatching out of him, and he gets killed. And she managed to get away from the spider creatures. It's a pretty cool action scene. The creature effects, like the CGI, mostly looks pretty good. Nothing really terrible here. She teams up with the martial arts dude who's there, who we see at the beginning of the movie like fall off a ship or whatever. For a while, I was thinking, is this dude like somebody who went into this other dimension as well? Was he in like a pirate ship or something? But no, him and the rest of the humans there, they kind of live there. We don't really know about how this world works, though, or what the inhabitants are like. We only meet like a small group of people. Like Ron Perlman is here. He was like the captain of the ship, and that's pretty much it. And he talks about how random people from her world have crossed over into this one all the time, and that the dimensional gate or whatever is like this thing that used to belong to an ancient civilization. It's like guarded by a dragon or whatever. There's like this human cat hybrid creature who's a member of Ron Perlman's crew. He was kind of cool, but he really does nothing here. And I know he's from the video game. And some people I've heard like complain about, well, why is there a creature like this here? I know there's giant monsters, but why is there like this mutant cat creature here? It didn't really bother me because this is obviously like a fantasy world, so it didn't really bother me that there was this mutant cat creature here. What did bother me, though, is like the because to me the cat creature thing fit in with like the monsters and stuff. But what did bother me was like Mila Jovovich gets like these magic weapons who can like cause flames to shoot out. It's really not explained at all. The action scenes with Mila Jovovich versus the monsters, they're all pretty good. The movie does feel a little PG-13. You can feel it at times. And I do believe it is PG-13. Maybe there's an unrated cut that'll be released on Blu-ray or something. But the main last fight between her and the dragon or whatever, it was pretty cool. She falls to like this portal, winds up back in her world, and the dragon like comes there and takes out like a military rescue unit that just happens to show up there. It's kind of cool action. It takes out like a chopper and everything. I don't like the ending of this movie. Like, if it wouldn't have been for the ending of this movie, I would have probably honestly have given this movie like 3 stars. It's just like a good silly B movie about giant monsters. For a lot of this movie, I was entertained just by the silly factor of it, because this is just a silly B movie about killer monster creatures. It's not meant to be taken seriously. But when you get to the ending pissed me off, because after she takes out the dragon or whatever, the portal is like still open, and her and Ron Perlman and the other dude are standing there, the martial arts guy or whatever, and there's like this whole new dragon that shows up, and they're like, we gotta shut the portal down. They run and jump towards it, and I was like, oh, the movie better not end here. And they just jump right towards it, and the movie just ends. Like, there's no ending to this film. It's not just that it leaves room open for a sequel, which is obviously what this ending was intending, but it just ends. It just stops. I mean, there's no actual ending. There's no like culmination of the film. It just stops. Really lame way to end the film. That ending really put the film down for me. Because of that ending, I gotta give the film 1.5 out of 4. It's just such a cock tease of an ending. Just such a, like if you're having sex and you're doing an orgasm and you don't get off, that's what this felt like, this ending. So yeah, it's all in all, I gotta give this 1.5. It's not the worst. It's not the worst like video game based movie I've ever seen or anything. It's better than something like Double Dragon or even Super Mario Brothers, which is a movie I enjoy as it's like its own thing, but not as a Mario Brothers movie. But still, the ending kills it. Any goodwill, it just kills it. All in all, it's a 1.5 star film. You don't really need to see this unless you're just a Mila Jovovich fan. Maybe if like the director's cut or something comes out and it's got like a different ending or something and it works better, maybe I would probably pump it up back to like 3 or 2 at most, like as an okay flick, and I wouldn't mind it as much. But as is, this theatrical watch I got, this ending is lame as hell. So all in all, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.